African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 14th of June, 2023. Last night, the Russian armed forces carried out long-range sea and air-launched precision-guided group strikes on clusters of Ukrainian reserves and foreign mercenaries, as well as foreign-made ammunition, weaponry, and military hardware depots. All the assigned targets have been engaged. The goal of the strike has been achieved. Over the past 24 hours, armed forces of Ukraine units made unsuccessful attempts to launch an offensive in South Donetsk, Zaporozhye, and Donetsk directions, continuing to suffer significant losses in manpower and hardware. In total, since June 4, 2023, the Ukrainian armed forces have lost around 7,500 troops killed and wounded along the contact line, not counting military personnel killed by Russian long-range precision weapons and aviation deep inside Ukrainian territory. In Vermivka salient close to Makarovka, Donetsk People's Republic, the selfless and competent actions of the defending units, airstrikes, and artillery fire of the Vostok group of forces repelled attacks of 2 armed forces of Ukraine motorized infantry companies, supported by 4 tanks and 11 armored fighting vehicles. In the course of combat operations, 4 tanks and 7 enemy armored fighting vehicles were neutralized. Russian troops successfully repelled attacks of 2 company tactical groups of the Ukrainian armed forces near Prechestovka, Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy suffered losses of 5 tanks and 5 armored fighting vehicles. Russian troops have hit 5 enemy tanks near Rovnopol, Donetsk People's Republic, Levidnoye, Zaporozhye region, and the Oktyabr State Farm. In Zaporozhye direction, an attack by units of the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces near Zerabyanki, Zaporozhye region, was thwarted by airstrikes of the ground attack aviation. In total, over the past 24 hours, the enemy losses in the South Donetsk and Zaporozhye directions amounted to over 800 Ukrainian troops, 20 tanks, 4 infantry fighting vehicles, 15 armored fighting vehicles, 2 U.S.-made M777 artillery systems, howitzers, the MSTB and D-30, and a Grad MLRS vehicle. In addition, a depot of artillery ammunition belonging to the 65th Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces was annihilated near Novoandrievka, Zaporozhye region. In Donetsk direction, 2 enemy attacks have been successfully repelled in the vicinity of Pervomaiskoye and Petrovskoye, Donetsk People's Republic, during the day. During the fighting, Ukrainian troops suffered losses of over 205 servicemen, 2 armored fighting vehicles, 7 motor vehicles, and 2 D-20 howitzers. Ammunition depots of the 45th Artillery Brigade and the 57th Motorized Infantry Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces have been obliterated close to Seversk-Maly and Chasov Yar, Donetsk People's Republic. In Kupiansk direction, ground attack aviation, artillery, and troops of the Zapad group of forces have foiled actions of 3 Ukrainian sabotage and reconnaissance groups close to Simkovka, Berestovoy, and Artyomovka, Kharkov region. The enemy has suffered losses of up to 30 Ukrainian troops, 1 armored fighting vehicle, 2 motor vehicles, 1 U.S.-made M109 Paladin, 1 Polish-made Krab self-propelled artillery systems in this direction in the past 24 hours. In Krasny Lyman direction, aviation and artillery of the center group of forces engaged the units of the enemy close to Nevskoye, Chervenaya Dybrova, Lugansk People's Republic, Terny, Torskoye, Donetsk People's Republic, and the Serevryansky Forestry. 1 sabotage and reconnaissance group of the armed forces of Ukraine has been neutralized close to Grigorovka, Donetsk People's Republic. In total, over the past 24 hours, the enemy losses in this direction amounted to up to 60 Ukrainian troops, 1 infantry fighting vehicle, 2 pickup trucks, 1 Gvozdika self-propelled artillery system, 1 D-20 howitzer, and 1 Grad MLRS vehicle. In Kherson direction, up to 50 Ukrainian troops, 9 motor vehicles, and 1 Akatsia self-propelled howitzer have been destroyed over the past 24 hours. Operational, tactical, and Army aviation, missile troops, and artillery of the Russian group of forces have engaged 107 armed forces of Ukraine artillery units at their fire positions, manpower, and military hardware in 137 areas during the day. One P-18 radar for detecting and tracking air targets has been destroyed near Zaporizhzhia. Russia's air defense forces intercepted 2 Storm Shadow long-range cruise missiles and 4 HIMARS multiple launch projectiles during the past 24 hours. Moreover, 20 Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles have been shot down close to Sladkaya Bacha, Zaporizhzhia region, Zhovnovoy, Kharkov region, and Valerianovka, Donetsk People's Republic. In total, 442 airplanes and 238 helicopters, 4,605 unmanned aerial vehicles, 426 air defense missile systems, 9,982 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,124 combat vehicles equipped with MLRS, 5,111 field artillery cannons and mortars, as well as 10,947 units of special military equipment have been destroyed during the special military operation. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.